Welcome back to our channel, everyone. Again with you, Omar from Brownsburg Motorsports. Today we have a 2020 Volkswagen Atlas, and as the title says, we're going to be showing you the step-by-step on how to remove and replace the front rotors and pads. There are different sizes for this depending on your production date. This one was produced on 9 of September of 2020, so we had to contact the dealer, confirm the fitment and the part numbers and whatnot. And for that, I will be dropping the link in the description below for all the parts that we would need, which will be rotors and pads. And I don't know if it's obvious or not, but the reason we'll be replacing these rotors is because of this scratch or deep groove you see on the rotor caused by a very worn out or run down pad. Pad material is gone completely, and all that's left is backing plate on the pad, and that's what caused this rotor to groove. Otherwise, replacing the pad should have been sufficient because the rotor does still look to be still okay. But anyway, we'll go ahead and jump straight to it. All right, so before we dive into the repair, the tools that we will need is going to be a flathead, a caliper tool, a caliper rewinding tool, a 13mm socket, a 21mm socket, and a 3/8 ratchet and a 1/2" ratchet. If you have, power tool also, that would work. And then also lastly, for the lubricants and grease, we're going to be using Permatex Thread Locker, the blue type, and we're going to be using the CRC brake and caliper grease. So with that being said, let's go ahead and jump straight to it. All right, so before we start the job, the first thing we need to do is basically loosen the caliper a little bit so we can take it out freely. And I use usually my flathead. I just get it stuck between, I just shove it between the pad and the caliper on the front side over here, and then I push toward, like I pull towards me. Or if you can get it between the pad and the rotor, and then just push towards the pistons, that will rewind the pistons just a little bit, enough for you basically to be able to move it freely and get it out. So next, we're gonna go ahead and remove our caliper guide pin bolts or caliper bolts. And I'm gonna use my 13mm for this, and it looks like the entire thing is spinning. So we are gonna need like a channel lock or a vice grip, whichever one you have would be sufficient. Honestly, there is no preference for me. I use whichever one I can get my hands on first. And this scenario is going to be a vice grip. If you have a channel lock, that would also work. And what we need to hold basically is the back of the guide pin. So this side right here, you need to be able to hold that. I might need to clamp a little bit harder on it. Okay, a little bit tighter. There we go. This one, and then the second one. Make sure you guys can see this. I'm gonna come from the bottom and do the bottom right in front of you. Now that it's loose, I can bring my power ratchet and drive this out. Now these guide pins bolt, they do have a T40 insert on the back. That's one. And then for the upper one, I should be able to, no, I still need my vice grip for this. Looks like the upper one has a balancer on it. As far as the guide pin bolts, that's what they look like. As you see, that's the bottom, and this is the upper one. The bottom one does have a torque 40 insert on it, but obviously no need to use that. I'm gonna put these on the side. Now I'm gonna grab my caliper hanger, or as a lot of people call them, the S hooks. These will allow you to take the caliper safely away from the rotors and the brake system so you can do the job. And I'm just gonna go ahead and hang it on the coil right there. So as you see, it's hanged right there. Right, and now the next step, I'm gonna go ahead and remove these pads. You can just use your hands. If that doesn't work, or if they're stuck or they're seized on there, you can use a flathead and get it out. That's one pad, and then we have the second one. And as you can see, it's these It's these two that caused the grooves that you saw on the rotor. So we're gonna go ahead and move on to the next step, and that is removing the caliper bolt itself, which is 21 millimeter. We have the first one there. I might need to crank with my entire body on this. Same thing here. All right. Now that they are loose, I am going to use my power tool. I have my Milwaukee. That's one. That's one there. And that's two right there. I'm going to go take my caliper to the side. This is what the bolts look like. The 21 millimeter bolts for the caliper. And we're going to move on to the next step. All right, now the next step is to prep our caliper bracket, and I'm gonna go ahead and start off by removing the hardware over here. You just use your hands for this. Just gonna take them off. If they're not ever seized, you can use a flathead. Also, oh, sorry about that. Okay. All right. Now that these are removed, I'm gonna go ahead and grab a wire brush. So I'm gonna clean it up a little bit. All right, next is we're gonna go ahead and lubricate our guide pins and make sure they're not seized or anything like that. So you hold the rubber piece in and you just pull out the guide pin itself. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and grease this up a little bit. Trick is you don't want a lot of grease, and at the same time you don't want just a little bit. Now, in all honesty, these guide pins are lubed up pretty good. I'm just gonna add a little bit here to the side, and that should do the trick. You want to install them, you want to spin it, so make sure you get the grease everywhere. Same thing for this one here. Like I said, the trick is you don't want a lot of it. Perfect. Now I'm gonna go ahead and put this in, and all right, our next step is gonna be make sure I get the light proper for you guys. Okay, next step is going to be removing the bolt that holds the rotor itself to the hub. I'm going to go ahead and spray this thing with a little bit of WD-40 and leave it for a sec. Usually, most of the time, these are either a hex bit, 5mm, 6mm, or this for this car, it's a T30 torque bit socket or bit. I'm going to go ahead and use my gun. If yours is very seized or like very rusty, I would recommend you do this step and you wait like a couple minutes before you try this. But I'm gonna go ahead and hop on this because this car is not very rusted. There we go, just like that. Came right out. Perfect. And that's what the bolts look like. I'm gonna go ahead and put this on the side, and I'm gonna grab my rotor. All right. Awesome. Next step, after removing the rotor, you want to go ahead and clean up the hub surface. And I'm going to use my wire wheel right here just to get any rust. Okay, and with that done, the next thing to do is I'm going to go ahead and lubricate the surface of my hub just a tad bit. You do not want to overdo it. Just a little bit here, a little bit there, and a little bit around it. This, like I said, you do not want to charge it a lot. You just want a little bit of anti-seize in here, and we do this so it keeps everything nice and fresh. And also for the next technician, whoever is going to do the rotors and the pads in the future, will not spend 30 minutes fighting these because they were seized completely on the hub. And with that done, now we are ready for the installation. So we got our new rotors and pads. Rotors, I went with the original. They were not really expensive compared to the aftermarket option. And for the pads, I went with Akabono. Yes, I know they're Japanese, but they offer a very quiet and smooth braking operation. So I'm gonna go ahead and install my rotor. And for the parts, I will go ahead and link all the parts in the description below. It will be directly from Amazon, and you'll be surprised. Amazon actually started carrying original parts, so you should be okay. And now I'm gonna go ahead and put my T30 back. Definitely don't want to do over. You definitely do not want to overdo it. Now I'm gonna go ahead and install my brake hardware on the caliper bracket, and I'm gonna show you how to do that. All right. So as far as the brake hardware, all of them look the same, except like they look almost the same on both sides, except the outer side, the side that the pad is not facing, is gonna have the clip is gonna extend a little bit, and that notch right there. So make sure. Oh, not this way. It's gonna come over here actually. So the face that doesn't have anything sticking out, basically, that's going to be the rotor side. So this is going to be the rotor side, and the other side is going to have this sticking out and that sticking out. Okay, and grabbing the next one. This is going to be for, not here, oh, not here. It's going to be for this side. Make sure your brake hardware is installed in properly. And then this right there, make sure they are straight up. Same thing here. And lastly, this piece right here. You can just push them in. As you see, and voila. Now we're going to go ahead and install our caliper bracket along with our caliper bolts. And something new I learned recently is that if you're using thread locker, you use it directly on the thread, like the part where it's going to be threaded. So instead of putting it on the bolt, put it directly right there where I just did. I don't know if you guys could see that, but yeah, that offers a more secure locking for the caliper. All right, now I'm gonna go ahead and match this, align it. Sorry if my head is in the way. Try and get my head out of the way. I'm gonna start this with my hand. I did clean up those caliper guide bolt, not caliper guide, caliper bracket bolts. And fortunately, I couldn't get most of the rest, but I got some of it, but not most of it. And then grabbing the second one, and these you definitely do not want to do. You don't want to use a what is it called, a power tool. You want to go with your hand if possible, and then use a hand ratchet. That will be the best alternative or the best way of doing this. All right, it is actually 21 millimeter, just like we said earlier. And I'm gonna grab my ratchet now. And I'm gonna start. Where your hand starts shaking, that's how you know it is torqued properly. I don't usually torque to spec unless I'm using new bolts and new components. Perfect. All right, next step is we're gonna go ahead and install the pads. And the first thing we're gonna do is I have silicone brake lube, or you can use the anti-seize that I showed you in the beginning of the video. This I like the silicone better because it's just like easier to apply versus using like a brush to apply it on there. But you definitely want to get it up on the edges here, and then there. Perfect. Now there is not direction for these pads. You can put the one on the front on the back or the back on the front, where it's not going to make a difference. And to install them, you're just going to have to push down. There we go. And let me show you how they're supposed to go in. That's how they're supposed to be, just so that I have an idea. And now I'm going to install the back one. The back one is usually the one that gives me like trouble, just for the fact that I cannot see everything. There we go. All right. So I usually start with the bottom. Actually, that was not so bad. This one is easier than the front one. And now we're gonna go ahead and install our caliper itself. So now before we install our caliper, We did push the pistons a little bit earlier, rewind them with flathead, but now I want to go ahead and rewind them with this tool fully. And I bought this from Amazon, I want to say like 2 or 3 years ago. And basically what it does, I'm sure you guys could see this, it sits on the caliper right there, and then you just like crank it. Now push the pistons in. I don't know if you guys could see that or not. Let me see. I hope you guys could see that. I'll try and, here, let me bring this lower. Here we go, perfect. So you guys can see, to see how the pistons are pushing in. There we go. Then just release this from the back, and voila. Now we should be able to install our caliper without any issues, without having to force it or push it or anything like that. All right, now I'm gonna get the bolts for it. I believe they were 13 millimeter for the caliper, and we're gonna install that. Now for these, I have added a little bit of, I'm actually gonna add a little bit of, what's it called? Thread lock on there, just to be safe. A little bit there. Let me go ahead and put the first one in. Fix with my hand so I can move the caliper a little bit freely. Okay. And then for the bottom one, you can add a little bit of thread lock. Oh, perfect. Now I'm gonna use my 13 millimeter socket with the ratchet, and I'm gonna need a vice grip as well to hold the guide pin, the back of the guide pin. All right, there we go. You don't want to go bananas on the bolt for this. We already put thread lock on there. Just want to crack it down enough. There we go. All right, and voila. With that, this finishes the job on how to remove and replace the front brake pads and rotors on any Volkswagen Atlas of this generation. I will include the years in the description below. I will also include the links for all the tools and all the parts like promised. Again, I used OEM original Volkswagen rotors, and I use Akabono pads because they offer a very smooth and quiet braking experience. And lastly, the first thing you do as soon as you finish this up, double check your brake fluid level. When you start the car, pump the brake pedal like 3-4 times, and obviously take it for a quick test drive, at least like a mile run, just to get the pads to seat properly on the rotors. And that's it. If you guys like this video, make sure you like and follow for more, and we'll see you on the next one.